Sirens wailed across central Tel Aviv before explosions lit up the night sky. Iranian ballistic missiles struck the city, and footage aired by Iran's press TV suggested that some of the projectiles were not intercepted. Videos circulating online showed powerful blasts ripping through densely populated streets, vehicles engulfed in flames, and thick black smoke rising over residential neighborhoods. Images published by the Associated Press showed firefighters battling burning cars in central Israel following the strikes. Israel's Magen David Adom Rescue Service reported that at least 11 people had been killed since Sunday. In Tel Aviv alone, officials said a single night of attacks damaged at least 40 buildings. According to Haaretz, citing municipal sources, a complete Iranian ballistic missile, not merely debris, struck near an apartment building, leaving behind a massive crater. A Philippine caregiver was killed after reportedly failing to reach a shelter in time.
In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. The 11th wave of Operation True Promise 4 was executed as a comprehensive, multi-layered and high-intensity combined action by the naval and aerospace operational units of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, targeting American Zionist military objectives on the third day of the terrorist enemy's aggressions against our beloved homeland. The intelligence centers and military support warehouses belonging to the United States in the Persian Gulf region, the communications industry complex of the Israeli regime's army located in Beersheba, and more than 20 locations in the areas of Tel Aviv, West Jerusalem, and Galilee in the occupied territories were all struck by Iranian missiles and drones. The proud and valiant members of Iran's armed forces, by launching an assault on 60 strategic targets and 500 military sites belonging to America and Israel, have, up to this very moment, fired more than 700 drones and hundreds of ballistic missiles, thereby defeating our enemies in their interception attempts and establishing a new record. They have achieved more in the past 48 hours alone in their battle with the invading enemies than was accomplished throughout the entire 12-day war. The brutal and terroristic actions perpetrated by the United States Army and the Zionist regime against the oppressed Iranian citizens, particularly in their savage attack on hospitals, schools, the National Broadcasting Organization, and various civil institutions, will increasingly forge the determination to wage a full-scale war against adversaries within the armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and will significantly enhance the scale of our country's military engagements. And victory is not but from Allah, the exalted in might, the wise.
Tehran signaled the campaign was far from over. Ibrahim Zulfakhari, spokesperson for the Joint Army and Revolutionary Guard Coordination Center, claimed that within 48 hours Iran had targeted 60 strategic sites and 500 military positions linked to U.S. and Israeli forces. These figures have not been independently verified. He stated that more than 700 drones and hundreds of ballistic missiles have been launched, describing the operation as surpassing the intensity of last June's 12-day conflict. Iranian media also claimed a strike on what was described as the largest U.S. early warning radar system in the Persian Gulf, reportedly valued at $1.1 billion with a 5,000-kilometer detection range. There has been no confirmation from U.S. officials. In an unexpected move, Iranian state television aired remarks from the foreign ministry spokesperson speaking from what was described as a school damaged in airstrikes. He announced that the 11th wave of Operation True Promise 4 had been carried out as a large-scale, multi-layered offensive by the naval and aerospace units of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. According to his statement, targets included intelligence centers, U.S. military support facilities in the Persian Gulf, and Israeli military communication complexes in Beersheba, along with more than 20 sites across Tel Aviv, West Jerusalem, and Galilee. Iranian officials framed the strikes as defensive measures in response to what they described as aggression against Iranian territory, including attacks on hospitals, schools, and civilian infrastructure. They argued that international law grants Iran the right to self-defense and criticized the United Nations and global powers for failing to intervene. The spokesperson rejected claims about Iran's nuclear timeline, dismissing statements that Tehran was weeks away from producing weapons-grade material. He said Iran remains a signatory to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT, and insisted that recent attacks had severely damaged its nuclear facilities, contradicting accusations of imminent weaponization. Calling on the international community to act before the conflict expands further, Iranian officials warned that any country supporting military action against Iran would be viewed as complicit in aggression. They maintained that their actions target military origins of attacks, not regional populations. As tensions escalate, the situation remains volatile, with competing narratives, unverified claims, and growing fears that a broader regional conflict could unfold if diplomatic channels fail.
Strikes with extreme care and a very conscious decision at the same time that I implore you to consider what happened to our nation's leader. Our country's leader was brutally attacked and martyred at his very own workplace alongside his entire family. And at that exact same moment, our innocent children were also martyred in Minab. With 2 missiles. Why 2 missiles? Our children in Minab. Today, their eternal resting place is to be prepared. 171 beautiful Iranian angels, commander of Iran throughout Iran's modern history, until we speak of the international community of a... We're not talking about abstract concepts. Every single government that is a member of the United Nations, including European countries that constantly preach about the rule of law and human rights, had a duty and still do. International law is being undermined. International humanitarian law has been trampled underfoot. The UN Charter has lost all meaning. A military invasion of Iran would undoubtedly mark the beginning of the end. It is the UN system. Where is the Secretary General of the UN?